Welcome, Japan.
Welcome to another edition of Why Come Japan. I'm your host, Radri, where I interview creatives about their craft and how it relates to Japan. And today in my show is OkawariTV. Now, before I set up this guest, let me ask you something. Did you know that there are other jobs in Japan besides English teaching? Now, probably longtime listeners of this show, or people who live here in Japan, will know that English teaching is one of the easiest jobs to walk into as a foreigner from an English-speaking country here in Japan. Well, what if I told you that being a tour guide and a bar hopper was one of them? My guest today, OkawariTV, a Twitch streamer and tour guide, talks about all that. Now, OkawariTV makes the job seem simple. We talk about this and also about the ethics of live streaming. But of course, Okawari says it a lot better than I can. Because you've been on Twitch for a long time, but you only really started this year. Is that correct?
Yep. So I started in March and April. And that's when I started making the push for affiliate. Just because when Corona hit, basically I kind of lost my job. Like I had no tourists anymore, no like travelers, things like that. So then I had to find an alternative. So that's when I started doing Twitch. And I had a couple of support push from like friends, family, and things like that. And then eventually I made my way to IRL. And then once I became affiliate, like I started doing more and more IRL. And people kind of liked the places that I went, the bars that I showed and everything. Because everyone knows who I am in those bars. It's like people feel more comfortable like being around that. So that's basically the start of how Twitch became to be, or OkawariTV became to be. Because I used to have a different name before. It was just a gaming name, but I said, okay, this name's not going to work anymore. So I had to find something that relates. And I said, well, I might as well just use my brand name, which was Okawari Bar Crawls, and just make it OkawariTV.
Right. Okay, well, you said that you kind of started off a little bit in tourism. Is that like a hard job to like get into? Do you have to have like a lot of clients? And like I wouldn't even know how to start or where to begin if I wanted to set this thing up myself. Because like a lot of people here in Japan, a lot of us come here to, teach English because it's the easiest job to get, like right away. But like I guess my first thing is, where would you start? Like, let's say, I want to be a tour guide. I mean, I know now it's not the best time to be asking this question, but my question is like before Corona hit, what did that look like?
Like before, so before Corona hit, so you had different options of website to use. So you can either use Tripadvisor, Airbnb, and then like some of these other like small companies that are like similar to like Airbnb, Tripadvisor. Those are like the main ones I can think of right now. But all you have to do is that either you would just host a tour or like open one up, and then you give them the information, what it would be and everything. So like, say for example, you want to open up like a Harajuku walking tour. So you open up a Harajuku walking tour, you kind of just put the description, you tell me where you're going to do, where you're going to go. Maybe at the end of the tour, you give a little like souvenir or something like that, some whatever small. And then you put the price, hours, and things like that. And then after that, it's up to the companies or the websites to kind of boost you up and stuff. So if your tour becomes really popular, then people will like, you'll get more and more customers that way. So like for me, when I did the bar crawls, because no one else was doing it at the time, or at least the ones that were doing it, it was mostly like Shibuya, Shinjuku, which I think are really touristy. Like it's not like, and it's really expensive. So I feel like where I do it was in Kichijoji, which I think people know Kichijoji. It's a nice area. It's kind of far, a little bit away from like central Tokyo. But there's actually a lot to see and a lot to do, and a lot of really like small, unique Japanese bars, and then plus it's cheap. Like you can buy a drink for like 500 yen, 400 yen. So people like that, and they like kind of like the vibe and how all the Japanese locals were like very welcoming towards them. So that's kind of like how mine blew up on those websites, and then I got more and more customers from there.
Oh, okay. So wait, you kind of have to link it to the website? Like I don't exactly understand. Like you set it up on your own personal website, and then you advertise it on Tripadvisor and Airbnb. Is that correct?
Oh no, so you advertise, you set it up on that website. So like on Airbnb or Tripadvisor. So you would say like if you go on Airbnb, it has like you can rent your apartment out. It also has like experiences. So you can say host an experience. So on the website, you would just say host. You tell it, okay, where do you want to host? In Tokyo. Okay, we're available in Tokyo. What is it? Walking tour, drinking tour, food tour, things like that. So you kind of like set it up, and every website is a little bit different. So you set it up on the website, and you give all the information, and then afterwards you have to get approved. So if the company or the website approves it, then you're good to go, and you can start hosting, and they'll kind of promote, like when you're a new tour, they'll promote you like on there, and then basically, if it gets a lot of attention, they'll keep promoting you and promoting you and promoting you. So,
Right.
So that's kind of how it is.
Okay, so basically there's like a promotion section on each of these websites that you can kind of sign up for.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. But I imagine right now that there's not much of demand for any of this right now. Is that true?
Nope. So that's why they're kind of doing everything online, which I was doing online tours, like virtual, like walk-in tours. But it's kind of like, it's weird because you just have the camera and you say, all right, this is a rokcha hai or oolong tea with sake. Oh, look, this is yakitori and stuff like that. So they can't eat it. But like, like sometimes some of these companies want you to be like, oh, can you like maybe do like a cocktail mixology tour, like show them how to make a oolong hai or green rokcha hai. And I'm like, sure, but if they don't have the ingredients, it's gonna suck. But what's it called? I think, yeah, like that's why I started doing Twitch, because it's just easier for me to like go show people around, and people just like they could just subscribe to support. That way they can if they want to drink, they could drink whatever, and it's easier for me. There's not much control for like it's more free on what I want to do on Twitch as compared to like a tour. Like it'll be for like 1 hour, maybe it'll cost like 1,000 yen per person, but then after that 1 hour, then it's like, okay, it's over, and then that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So wait, does Airbnb, do they want like a video, or do they want like they have like a live streaming service or something when you're doing these virtual tours?
No, they do it on Zoom. So you do it on Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah. So everything's on Zoom or some other like Google Hangouts or whatever. So then, you just host and then you talk to the people and you see them. But I don't know, like some companies are very anal about what they want. Like, oh, they want it to be very quiet area, or so you can talk to the host. And it's
Okay.
Like, so it's like, but what I do, it's like not quiet. It's really loud.
Right.
Yeah. So it all depends. So they're really picky on like what you want, what you can do.
Right.
So most of the tours are always done either at home or in a like area where it's like not too loud.
Right.
Like,
Right.
So I think that's why walking tours are really good. But I don't know. I think they just need to like give more. How do you say? Just some more chances to provide different tours online. But I don't know. Either way, I don't really do those right now. I mostly just do Twitch. So and then like I said, Twitch has been successful for me.
How has it been successful for you?
I mean, just like support, like collaborating with like other streamers, going to different areas, like going to different bars, meeting different people. Because I think in general, like people want to see Japan for what it is. Because people like you have other streamers like Rob who like that does biking streams and then goes around like
Who's Rob?
Rob CD.
Rob CD.
Yeah, he's like
Okay.
biggest streamer on Twitch right now.
Really?
Yeah, he has, like-
Why have I never heard of him?
Really?
All right.
He has like 2,000, 3,000 viewers every time he
Okay.
streams. So like, yeah, he mostly he started off like I think just biking, and then biking around Tokyo and going to different places and just like people like that. But like for me, my focus is more like just izakayas, Japanese bars, or other unique themed bars.
Right.
And just bring the people there, and just people can kind of see what it's like. And eventually, once the countries open up, then everyone who comes to Japan, they can go to those bars themselves, or they can just come with me and stuff as well.
I see.
I'm guessing with Airbnb and also Tripadvisor, they don't really support your Twitch channel or anything. They give you any sponsorships or anything?
No.
No?
Twitch doesn't. I mean, not Twitch. Airbnb and Tripadvisor don't really care. They like, if anything, you can probably just. I think if Corona wasn't happening, if I was doing Twitch while doing Airbnb, I can probably tell my customers from Airbnb, be like, hey, if you're interested in watching, my life or me going to different places in Japan, follow my Twitch channel and just hang out there. And then if they want to tip, they can tip and stuff like that.
Right.
Do you make a lot of money like through donations and the subscriptions, or is it just like what's the way that it's like the most lucrative?
Yeah, mostly just donations and subscriptions, like gift subs or even bits, which is like bits is like Twitch currency.
Right.
Yeah, and then yeah, mostly just between those two, and like I just try to do like different sub goals or stuff like that, or try to go to different bars, like so people can kind of like see different areas or whatever. But I don't really like ask for too much. I just tell people like, hey, this is my life. Enjoy.
Right.
So,
Right.
What is it you think that people really enjoy about watching your streams, opposed to like, I don't know, like let's say other Japan streamers? What do you think that you give them that's like exclusive? The OkawariTV exclusive.
I think the fact that I speak 3 languages,
Oh, okay.
English, Spanish, and Japanese. So I try to get a lot of Spanish speakers into my stream as well. So that's the way. So that way, I can speak to them in like Spanish. So I think, and then being able to speak Japanese too is a plus. So like people usually when they watch me stream or when I collab with other streamers, they hear my Japanese, they're like, damn, this dude's Japanese is hella good. Like I talk like naturally or whatever. So I've only studied for like 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah, but I didn't really get good at Japanese until I came to Japan. Which was in 2012. And like it took me 6 months to speak conversationally.
Okay.
Yeah, but with that, and I think just like maybe people like my charisma, because when I interact with people, it's just kind of like it's very fun, it's very interactive. Like I try to keep it balanced with like having the chat talk with like the locals and things like that. And only that too, like a lot of the people know who I am in those because I do my bar crawls. So I think people kind of like that. It's like, oh yeah, they know him, so he's okay to like live stream or whatever like that. So,
Right.
Yeah. And you don't look particularly threatening, so I think you're probably safe.
I'm glad. I don't know. I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but
That's a compliment. It's a compliment.
Okay, good. I don't look threatening at all.
Yeah.
You don't look like you're ready to hit me or something, so you're probably fine.
That's good.
So wait, do you have any like certification with Japanese? Like, do you have like N1 level Japanese or N2,
No.
or you've never actually been tested?
I've done JLPT N3, got that, but N2 I failed at it. So then, after that, I just never took the test though. To me, I feel like taking that test is not really, not worth it.
Okay.
Too much.
Right.
Just because if I'm having an interview with you,
Mm-hmm.
and you're a Japanese company, and you're listening to my Japanese, and I'm talking to you in Japanese, and I'm giving you all these information in Japanese, and then you ask for my JLPT, it's like, the fuck's the point? I don't have it. They're like, oh, well, I don't think we can hire you, which is so stupid. It's like, oh, we can't hire you if you don't have N2. But you're literally having a conversation with me in Japanese, so I don't know what else to say then.
Right. Right.
Well, I think that's like the only standard that people use in terms of like knowing somebody's actual level, because it's, I mean, with a lot of people, especially a lot of foreigners who live here in Japan, the kind of the bar is kind of like, or at least how I feel after studying for so many years, it's like my Japanese level, like beginner to like before intermediate, like, no, it's awesome, it's great, and everything after that, no, it sucks.
Damn.
At least that's how I feel.
It's
Every single day I hear new words, new phrases.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what that means.
I always feel like, yeah, you have a good intro at the beginning, and after that, like, after talking for like 30 minutes, like, I'm like, okay, no more Japanese. I can't understand anymore sometimes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So do you still do a lot of bar hopping from the brand OkawariTV? Like on Twitch, or I guess, do people request this on Tripadvisor or Airbnb?
No, not right now. Just because of because it's been dead, and I haven't really. To be honest, I haven't really promoted on Airbnb as of late, and Tripadvisor, and all these other websites that I had like contracts with. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's understandable because of Corona. So I just kind of like just told people like I'm just gonna go over here and just do my own thing, and just do it on Twitch. So that's why I just started Twitch, and then people, like I said, people like me. So I mean, if you guys like me, then awesome, cool. And if you don't, well, I'm sorry. Hopefully you find someone else that you like.
You know who you are.
Yeah.
I want to talk a little bit about the ethics of streaming, live streaming.
Yeah.
Have you run into a lot of problems with, live streaming, with a camera? Like, a lot of places kicking you out? Because I've done it a little bit myself.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's almost like it's like a game of mousetrap, You just got to avoid the traps in order to finish the fucking stream,
I think someone said it. I don't know who said it, but someone said it's always better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Okay.
So like you go to a place, you just show up and you have the camera, and it's like sometimes they won't say anything, but then like halfway or at the beginning they'll be like, "Oh, you can't record yourself, or if you record yourself, you have to only yourself and all that stuff." So I usually have a lot of issues like that if it's in Shibuya, Shinjuku.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like a lot of places sometimes are like, no, you can't be recording. And I'm like, and I tell them in Japanese, but it's just facing myself only. It's
right.
Like, and they think about it. They're like, and they because they're surprised that I speak Japanese too. They're like, fuck. And like, you still can't record. So like, all right then, bye. I don't ever come back to that place again. But then I like other places like Kichijoji, Ogikubo, Nakano, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like those places are usually pretty stream friendly. They're not too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're not too bad on it. So that's why I always stick to those areas all the time.
When you say stream friendly, what does that mean?
Like basically, they're okay with the camera, having a camera being recorded on the bar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, because what it seems like, from what I understood, like my last interview, I was talking to a friend of mine about this. I know this isn't like, because this is professional podcast. I don't exactly know the rules. I should probably call my lawyer friend or something here in Japan.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, in terms of the privacy laws, that it is okay to live stream, but you can't upload or something because due to like CCTV laws or something. Mm-hmm. I don't exactly know the exact specifics, but yeah, I'm not real sure in like what's okay and what's not okay. Mm-hmm. Have you ever run into any problems like that? Where you've had a lot of people who get... Because I've got a few people, like back when I was streaming live, just to copy what I've seen with all these other streamers here in Japan.
Yeah.
You get some people who get absolutely livid when, when you're seen with a camera, just filming yourself.
It's usually like the oji-san or the oba-chan that get all pissed off.
Okay.
Like the old folks. I've only had one time where I had a old dude. He was really pissed, but he was a customer. He wasn't even he was a customer. He wasn't like the owner of the bar or things like that.
Okay.
He was just kind of like, no camera in English. And I'm like, I told him in Japanese, like, ona-san desu ka? And they're like, no. And I talked to the other, they're like, it's fine. But then the customer was pissed off, like, no. And he was trying to like badmouth me, and I'm like, talked him back. I was like, you don't gotta say shit to me, dude. Like, what the fuck are you doing? So I was like, shut up, I'm not talking to you. And then like, a little bit of a fight here and there, and then I was kind of like, all right, I'm just gonna leave because I'm not gonna bother. Like, I'm not gonna go in a bar and then have this dude next to me and just start drama with this. So like, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think it's very rare when I get like that happen to me. But I usually know that okay, they don't want to have cameras.
Right.
It's fine.
Well, that is kind of interesting because it seems like these companies like Airbnb and Tripadvisor, they want you to go out and film some of these things and like stream yourself enjoying Japanese experiences, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, this isn't just like us, quote unquote, breaking the law. It's also from like, I guess, a higher power. Can I argue that?
Yeah. I mean, like, plus too, what we're doing is like we're promoting tourism. We're promoting like local areas and stuff like that, which is what some of these business need. Like they need like support from tourism because now all of them are going out of business. And if they're gonna be hard and be like, no, we can't have you do this or whatever, then it's like, okay, that you're never gonna get business in the future. So
right.
Yeah, but like in person tours, like when you bring like 5 people, 10 people at a time, it usually is not. It's usually okay. And
yeah.
The bars are pretty happy because like, okay, every person's gonna get a drink and they're gonna buy. It's like 500 yen up to 700 yen per person. Mm-hmm. So before Corona, so actually my original plan was like after the Olympics and after like this year, like if everything had happened like normal, mm-hmm. like okay, like I had like the from cherry blossom season up to the Olympics and then fall. Like if everything would have been really good, I could have actually started like my official business here in Tokyo, like getting the business visa and everything, or would have gone back to the U.S. and I would have probably tried to open like a Japanese style bar, and then it would be under the name like Bar Okawari or something like that.
Oh, really?
So like open a bar like that in like LA or something like that, and go from there, and then just kind of like intertwine everything. So like like live streaming plus doing tours and then opening a bar, like that would have been like the official ultimate goal in the future.
Oh, just opening a bar is the kind of the end goal.
Well, that would be like the end goal.
Okay.
And then maybe expanding the bars to other cities and stuff like that, and then see how it goes from there.
Okay.
So usually when it comes to like having a tour here in Japan, do you feel that like people want more of a tour guide that's of foreign descent and not a natural Nihonjin, guiding them through the land of Nippon? How, what's your feeling?
I say yes, because so what I've from history from my customers, they've all told me, because I always ask the question, okay, why'd you book my tour? Why'd you book it?
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they said like, oh, because you're a foreigner and you spoke English.
That's it?
Like that's like they booked me like most of the time.
Okay.
What's it called? Yeah, I think because like they've told me, because they've had history with other like tour companies, where like the tour companies, they just hire someone whose English level is very low or very limited.
Okay.
So a lot of them, when they try to ask them complex question about the culture, they legit like, oh, like they don't know how to answer it, or they avoid it, or they're like they don't want to say it because they don't want to talk bad about their own country. Which,
right.
I mean, it's fine, I understand, but it's like it's not very honest, I would say.
Right.
So a lot of people, they say, yeah, they ask me, or they tell me like, yeah, we booked you because you spoke English, you're a foreigner, and like we knew that, okay, we can talk to you more, and we can maybe ask you a question about Japan as compared to a Japanese person.
Right.
So that's why like I get a lot of people who do, they would prefer like foreigners over Japanese people.
Right.
A lot of times. So,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you can kind of answer complex questions pretty much.
Yeah. This is like, it's weird because they always ask me questions about, oh, what's marriage like in Japan? Or what do Japanese people think of like, this culture? Or like, why are people like this and that? I'm just kind of like, it's like fucking gotta go into details and be like, well, yeah, like marriage is like this, or, relationships are like this. Like, I don't know. They always ask me about marriages, relationships, and stuff like that. So it's kind of weird.
Okay. Huh.
Like, what's the weirdest question they've ever asked you? Like, I wouldn't know that.
I think weirdest question I asked, like, do Jap people have a lot of sex?
Oh, okay.
I think.
All right.
I think that'd be the weirdest. I'm trying to remember.
Right.
There's been a lot of weird. I had a lot of weird experiences on my tours. Like, I don't know how much detail I can share, but yeah, I've had people ask me like, oh, like, do Jap people like sex? Like, are they interested in sex? Like, do they not have a lot of sex? Or like, are they having babies and stuff? I'm like, I mean, no, they don't. They have a lot of like sex toys, so maybe they're not having as much sex.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right then. I think that's about all the questions I have for today. Like I said, is there anything else you want to say before we go?
Other than that, I mean, thank you for having me.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for coming down here.
It was fun, yeah. I'd coming down here and just going at like 11:30 a.m. or so. But yeah, if you guys want to watch me, you guys can watch me on twitch.tv/OkawariTV. Yeah, I usually try to stream whenever. Just follow if you want to like see whenever I'm live. Or what's it called? Oh yeah, if you want to subscribe. I mean, subscribing is 500 yen a month, and that supports me. It goes a long way. And then Prime, if you have a Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime, that's it's basically free when you subscribe. So you can do that.
Next week on the show is a girl named Aino, who is a beginning VTuber. So she'll be here on January 11th around 4 p.m. So be sure to stick till then. Be sure to check my social media if it's on Twitch or YouTube or whatever platform it's going to be on. So until then, I'm Radri, and
OkawariTV.
And hey, Alex.
Yeah.
Jesus, man.
Did you enjoy